far as the game going into it? How good was it to see the guys not only respond but play the way they did tonight?
Well, I mean, it's obviously a big win for us, having whatever you want to call it happen to us the past few weeks. But collectively, we just had a connection and a spirit about us tonight, even when they cut it to 6. I was watching Mikhail, and he was about as steady as the beginning of the game in attitude. And I thought that was a huge sign for us. Even when we were turning it over, I was watching him. He was just like, guys, we just needed to keep scoring and not give them the ball, just get up a shot. But when I look at the numbers, we haven't had numbers like this in a while. From a shooting perspective, rebounding, and in particular free throws. I thought that allowed us to set our defense a little bit, and 20 offensive rebounds. I mean, that was something that kind of offset the turnovers a little bit at the end. We got so many possessions, extra possessions on offense, so it's just a big win. I mean, I can sit up here and wax about all kinds of coachy stuff, but it's just a big win for us.
Curious, you didn't have Washington Jr. at the end of the game. Was that just a matter of him being?
We just needed to get the ball down the floor. They were putting pressure on him, and on the other end, he was smaller. So when we were switching, we wanted to have size to contest shots, and we needed some more experience out there. We needed guys who understood what they were trying to do. D. Lee, Mikhail, J.O., Torrey, if we had to switch, those guys understand what Golden State's trying to get. And, Wash played his butt off. He turned it over a little bit, but we just wanted to get some more size to try to combat their ability to slip and get off threes.
I said you can change the lineup at any time you want. What made you go with Biz there when Landale was?
Just conversations with the coaches. Most teams in the league will go with their switching unit in the second unit, and Jock is really good against switches. Even though he picked up some offensive fouls, we thought we could manufacture some offense against their switching units with Jock, and so we wanted to bring him in the second phase of the rotations. And Biz gives you a bit of grit and toughness to start games and pick and roll in his rebounding. So I thought he had a really good start to the third. His finishes around the basket helped us. It's only a good decision when you win, so we just it just worked out tonight.
Curious with Mikhail having one of his better overall round games. He got an offensive glass. He had a huge offensive rebound back there. What you just think of his play?
I just thought he hit a number of settling buckets for us. It's hard to run offense with the way they play defense with their switching, and then they put their hands on you. So we were having a tough time just getting into sets. So I just felt like if we could get a shot, we'd be okay. Mikhail got some timely offensive rebounds and putbacks. And then there were a couple times where he started going left and got over his right shoulder, and you could tell like he was in a bit of a rhythm. But I thought on both ends he was amazing tonight. I mean, he defends every tough guy we have to face from a wing perspective, and he gave us a lot of production. And then he played 40 minutes, knowing that we got to play tomorrow. That's right. You got to be a tough dude to do that.
Coach, I know you could say you get all preachy and whatnot, but how big is it when you get a win? You have 4 of your starters out. The Warriors, even though Steph is making his first return back, they've got their entire lineup out there, and you're able to, for the most of the game, really dominate them.
Well, when I heard that those guys might play yesterday, I just said it's just par for the course for us lately, to get Steph back and then Clay and then have their full complement of players outside of JaMychal. I just thought it was going to be a game where we just had to, have some things go our way, and we had to make our own breaks. We talked about different ways we have to play without Chris, without Book, initiating offense, and I thought our guys adapted to that pretty much until the end when we couldn't get the ball past half court. But kudos to the guys. I thought they came in with a great spirit about them today. Landry Shamet deserves a ton of credit. He was begging to play, and I held him out. I just said, look, we just don't do that in our program. And I felt really good about that, to have a guy who's laboring a little bit, and he may play tomorrow, but I felt so, you feel real good about guys who just want to help out their team. And when he came in and was pretty much begging me to get out there on the floor, that wasn't an omen or anything, because I don't believe in that stuff, but I just felt good about the game, to have a guy willing to sacrifice his body for his team.
Follow up to that. I mean, just how big is it though when you're able to? I believe your team had trouble scoring points. You guys had trouble reaching 100 to get over 100 points with the lineup you put out.
Yeah, I mean the big thing for us is playing a team like that switches defenses about as much as anybody in the league. I don't know who switches more between them, Toronto, or Miami. They go to the drop, they go to zone, they go to switching. They do a number of things. They blitz pick and rolls. And they have guys that have a championship equity here, and so they don't get rattled in moments. They all know how to knock down big shots. They all know how to set screens to open up guys for shots. And so for us to come in here on the road and get a win is huge for us. They'll they have enough hardware where they can just turn the page. We're not there. And so for us to come in here and get a win against a team like that is big for our program.
Monty, I'm going to assume that this season hasn't gone exactly the way you had hoped to this point.
Yeah.
What can you take away from this game, getting this kind of performance shorthanded the way you did against a team like this?
I think it just speaks to playing with confidence and just playing with force. That sometimes that can overcome some talent deficiencies or putting guys out there who've never been in these types of situations. I think if you play hard and you play with confidence, you give yourself a shot. Hard work doesn't guarantee success, but without it, you got no shot. And that's something that we preach in our program is you have to work hard to give yourself a chance, and then that expands your talent. And then the other thing is I really feel like these experiences for guys like Josh and Ish, Dwayne, you never know when you're going to have to call on one of those guys late in the season to play a big role.
What about the guys, your regulars that are on the bench?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say what it means to them, but I think it gives our team confidence in what we're trying to do as far as our program and our system, that we can plug in guys, and if you play hard, and again, if you play with confidence, you give yourself a chance. It doesn't guarantee a win, but you give yourself a chance to be competitive, and that's all you can ask for in this league is to be competitive.
I was going to ask about Damian, and he obviously was very excited to play.
Sure.
Did you feel like he set the tone as far as attacking early in the first half?
Well, I just thought it was a special night all the way around. I mean, to come back here and get your championship ring and have your family. Sadell was out there with their child, and they had family, I'm sure, in the stands. For him to be able to come back here, get a ring, play well, and win the game, like that's a trifecta, if I ever heard of one. So we gave, as the young boys say, gave him his flowers at the end. And now for me, I'm ready. Let's get on the plane and let's go play Denver.
I think what's significant about this win is how you guys keep the lead from the beginning to the end, considering this is a fast-paced offense league.
Sure.
So what you tell your players like during the halftime to keep this going?
Yeah, sure. I told our guys, don't be in a rush to win the game. It's a step-by-step process, and we were giving up offensive rebounds. I think they had 14 points off of them in the first half. You can't control the ball going in the basket, but you can control boxing out. And I was like, I see guys getting upset when they miss a shot. Like, we should be upset about giving up extra possessions to a team that doesn't need any help. And so I just told them to control the things that we can control so we can give ourselves a chance to win. And they bought into it. I mean, they got some offensive rebounds, but we got 20. And so I thought we did a much better job of just being physical against their guys. We did give up a free throw box out in the second half, which, chaps me a little bit. But I thought overall we had a physical mentality to keep those guys off the glass.
And so first game in 2023 that the Suns scores more than 100 points. And considering we still have a road trip going on, so what do you think to keep this offense on a good track?
Well, I just hope we keep getting stops. When we get stops, we can get out and run, and our offense is a lot easier without Chris and Book and Cam, both Cams. We have to get stops. When we can get out and run and get to the rim or get to the paint and get threes, we're a much better team.